Jump Asch. Morning.
Good morning, everybody. Happy holidays. Those are two tough acts to follow. I think it's safe to say, pun intended, that myself and the other operators are here today because we care and take pride in what we do. Please consider us the canaries in the coal mine, if you will. Because what we do and what public transportation does is so important for our riders, as well as the economy and the environment, both locally and globally. I would like to urge management to entertain the idea of a new spirit of cooperation with operators as we head into 2012. The best teams, businesses, agencies, etc., are usually always that way because everyone involved feels inspired to contribute in whatever way they can to improve the greater good. An atmosphere of mutual respect and support exists from the top down. When people feel they are being prepared to succeed in their tasks, they put more of themselves into it, something you rarely see with a punitive style of leadership. And what are people looking for when they use Trimet? Safety, security, reliability, and professionalism are usually at the top of the list, right? There's one factor that strongly affects all of these top priorities. And would you believe me that Trimet will save money by investing in that factor? It's true. That factor is employee wellness. And as they say, the numbers don't lie. A recent study by Harvard found that for every dollar invested in employee wellness, there was a return of $3.27 in healthcare savings, $2.73 saved by less absenteeism. When you add in reduced worker comp claims, the financial savings is considerable. As the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And then there's the whole other area of safety and how improving the mental and physical wellness of operators can improve safety by reducing accidents and liabilities in ways too important to put a dollar sign on. Acknowledging this, the two concepts, safety and wellness, are linked very clearly and concisely right here in Section 15 of the union contract, titled Safety. Just really briefly, it says, Safety, Section 15, Safety, Part 1. The health and welfare of employees is a primary concern of both the district and association. Both parties recognize the importance of achieving and maintaining a high level of safety in all operations of the district. Both parties also recognize the importance of reducing on-the-job injuries and controlling property damage and production losses. Both parties recognize the value of safety rules and practices as well as preventive and corrective safety measures. Therefore, the district and association in recognition of the common commitment to promotion of safety and reduction of losses will jointly support efforts to implement policies, practices, and procedures and protections during the duration of this contract agreement to bring this about. So the mandate's right there, safety, wellness. I want to comment really quickly before I continue on the situation, the latest situation with the 57 driver. The local media, led by the conservative Oregonian and equally so Portland Tribune, seem all too happy to run with stories which vilify and scapegoat Trimet operators. The latest being the unfortunate incident involving the mother and baby on the 57, Route 57. Hell on wheels, devil in a light blue uniform, etc., etc. I'm not privy to everything that went on there, nor do I want to rehash the whole thing yet again. But I do want to make the observation, and correct me if I'm wrong, that nowhere in all the reporting and statements made about this did I see any reference to the idea that however wrong the operator was in her handling of the situation, the main reason she pulled over the bus is that she felt too distracted to continue driving. I don't believe even her harshest critic could possibly say that she pulled over the bus for the sole purpose of walking to the back of the bus only to confront the mother and child just for the heck of it. As I say, the results of the handling of the situation was obviously not what anybody would want, but I think the whole safety aspect was overlooked. And sensationalistic journalism was allowed to demonize the driver and make Trimet look incompetent as well. While acknowledging the terrible outcome of the exchange between the operator and the mother, a simple statement from Trimet putting the situation in a safety context, pointing out the serious dangers of an operator driving a 20-ton vehicle while distracted would have been educational to the public and may have lessened the firestorm of controversy. So, obviously this driver might have an issue with her threshold for distractions, but that's something, that hopefully will be addressed in her retraining. And then, so finally going back to the idea of wellness. Besides getting rid of all the junk food, and I did printouts. I hope everybody got the. This is something saying how bus driving is one of the most stressful occupations.
You might want to submit that stuff if you don't mind.
I did.
Okay. We have it.
You don't have it in front of you. Okay.
We haven't.
And this is the stuff on wellness. And then there's a good article here from Portland Transport on trolley buses. How there's been a lot of discussion today about alternative fuels and greener buses, and this is a situation where these trolley buses they're used up and down the West Coast, Vancouver, BC, Seattle, San Francisco. They're very environmentally friendly, and they're only $3 million per mile to put the wires in compared to light rail, which is hundreds of millions of dollars per mile. This says right here there's federal funded New Start grants that can be used for electric trolley buses, not just streetcars and light rail. So we have an opportunity to kill two birds with one stone there, rather than always looking immediately to light rail to improve the system. You can improve the buses and green the system, make the system greener as well. And then this transit expert was in the Willamette Week talking about the importance of frequent service buses to build ridership. That's where money comes from. You build ridership, you get money. A lot of times what we've seen is we put in these new maxes and it just shifts people from buses to the max. You're not building ridership. So that's something I think concentrating on getting people from point A to point B is what transit should be all about. Finally, getting back to wellness, and I'll wrap it up. Besides getting rid of all the junk food vending machines and doing more to promote exercise and non-smoking, as well as healthy eating, it's my opinion from experience in talking to numerous operators, as the ones we've heard here today, that Trimet can go a long way in improving wellness and safety by overhauling the schedules on so many of the chronically late routes. Accurate schedules will mean less stress for drivers, more reliability for passengers. Furthermore, recovery times, aka layovers, we're always taught from the beginning of training here that it's not a break, it's not a layover, it's a recovery time, and that recovery time is supposed to be for the bus to get back on schedule. Well, instead of just looking at it in that context, first of all, if you fix the schedules, you won't need to worry about that as much. And then secondly, the recovery time should be for the mental and physical recovery for operators, giving them an adequate amount of time so that they can proceed in their day in a safe and healthy way for the public and the riders. Operators on the driver's seat 6 to 12 hours a day, every day. When an operator such as myself approaches management or maintenance with a serious concern over ergonomics and safety, and backs it up with common sense and scientific data, there ought to be an easy, receptive, and streamlined process in which to quickly evaluate and implement any needed changes. I've not experienced that here.
This is 10 minutes. Okay. I'm really. Okay. I think everybody in this room knows that I have a great tolerance for, for this kind of testimony. But really,
Okay.
Wrap it up.
Last statement. I approached the safety and maintenance department, and with all due respect to everybody in safety and maintenance, but again, we're in the seats 6 to 12 hours a day. I approached them about an ongoing unnecessary distraction that I and others were experiencing. Unfortunately, I was met with a lot of intransigence and inertia, which really watered down the improvement process to the point where the problem is just as persistent as it is today as it was then, basically. I have a very good safety record. I plan to continue my quest to improve this particular problem, but I do hope that the safety suggestions that were presented here today by myself and others are given serious consideration. Thank you for the time. Sorry for going over.
Yeah, thank you.